Couple killers say they killers, but I'm not convinced.
What's good, what's good, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, got a new topic, quick topic, new topic. Overtime. Why Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. should be training for Undisputed now. Alright, y'all, so yesterday some news came out. Finally got some news from one side of the fight, from the Errol Spence Jr. side, and he basically was confirming that the negotiations are ongoing. The fight is almost ready. It should be done for this year. He guaranteed it would be done this year. I'm not 100% sold personally yet, but it's very possible. He is on the inside. He knows he's actually one of the fighters. So if he gives his word, you should probably roll with that. Now, why should both of these guys be training now? Because if they're going to do this fight, let's say end of September, October, you know, they might as well go ahead. And I know fighters usually stay in shape. You know, Manny Pacquiao is the type to play basketball, run, all that good stuff. The stuff that fighters need to do, cardio mainly. So I'm not doubting that either one of these guys are in shape, but are they in war-ready shape? You know, this is going to be a war for both sides. And it might not be a long-lasting war. I think one of these guys is going to break down before the other. And that's the reason they should start training now. They need to start working on their game plan. They need to start working on I don't want to call it a specialty punch, but what's going to be the punch to break down their opponent? You know, is it going to be the jab, the uppercut, the hooks? You know, will it be combination punching from Terence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr.? What are going to be the intangibles that both of these guys work on, because they feel like that's going to be the punch that carries them through the fight? Plus, you know, this is a fight to where you gotta have everything has to be on its max. All the attributes got to be turned up to 100. So both of these guys should be running steadily, you know, daily at this point. Because if this fight's going to happen in October, like they're saying, you want these guys to already be in shape. It's looking like one of the Mayweather situations to where they're not going to have. It's not going to be like a drawn-out process for this fight. It's probably going to get announced quick. The training period is going to go by like that, and then the fight's going to happen, just like the Mayweather fights used to. And people used to say that there was an advantage on him because he was doing shady stuff behind the scenes. But I think because of the times and the way that things are now, I think it's just a really quick process now. And then they've waited so long for this fight, and they've waited so long within the year to make the fight. Now they're trying to stuff it and make sure it happens this year, which could be a recipe for disaster all in itself. But let's just be happy that we get the fight, if we get the fight. But both of these guys should definitely be working on, because I think the punch that's going to carry Errol Spence Jr. through this fight is most definitely going to be his jab. I think he has the best jab in the business at this point in boxing and in welterweight boxing, period, because his jab is very prototypical. He's a prototypical fighter, period, because he moves. His movements are very plotty, but they're plotty for a reason. So it's not a lot of herky-jerky or a lot of quick action coming out of Errol Spence Jr. He's more, he goes to a position, he throws a jab, he tries to throw something off of that jab and break you down further. So I feel like the jab is going to definitely carry Errol Spence through this fight. Is his jab strong enough? Is his jab accurate enough to take Terence Crawford off of his A game? I mean, we're definitely gonna have to wait. We're definitely gonna have to wait for the fight to find out whether, you know, which fighter is more on point with their boxing skills. But I do think, because of the plotty nature of Errol Spence Jr., because of his ability to cut the ring off, because he's so prototypical, I do think his jab is going to carry the night for him, and it's going to give Terence Crawford a lot of problems, especially with trying to speed him up. Now, what about Terence Crawford? I think the thing that he has to hang his hat on, the thing he should be working on the most in early training would be combination punches. What would carry him through and what could beat Errol Spence, to me, has always been hand movement, foot movement. These things have to be synchronized, and they got to go the whole fight. The reason I had Pacquiao beating Errol Spence Jr. was because of the foot movement more than the hand movement. With Pacquiao, the power was always there. His power never left, and his speed never left. He still has the hand speed and the power. Now, what he did lack in the Ugas fight was the foot movement. We didn't see the angles. We didn't see the moving around the ring. We didn't see the foot speed of Manny Pacquiao in the Ugas fight. And I think that's what lost him the fight. Everything else was there. His chin was there. You know, the punching power was there. The combination punching was there. But the footwork wasn't there. So I think the thing that Terence Crawford needs to work on the most, because I did feel like Pacquiao would beat Spence, would be his foot hand-eye coordination, hand-eye combination. He needs to learn to move in synchronization. He needs to learn to move in synchronization with his hands and his feet. When he moves forward, his hands need to be moving forward at the same time with his feet, because he needs to be throwing punches and bunches and throwing punches on the move with angles to throw Errol Spence off of his very prototypical and very robotic boxing. The way he operates in the boxing ring is very prototypical, very robotic. So to throw that off, to throw that robot nature off, to throw that I have a job to do type of mentality off, you got to give him something he's not used to. It might have to be herky-jerky. You might have to be here or there, throw combinations, weird angles, all of that stuff. I think that's what would actually win the fight for Terence Crawford, and that's what he should be focusing on in early training. Now, are they even going to do a full 8-week, 6-week, 8-week training session for this fight? I don't know, man. This fight is so weird, and the way it's coming together is so weird. I have no idea at this point. This could possibly be the training period for this fight. I mean, there was the announcement of give us 8 weeks. Maybe they already had it hashed out. Okay, we'll train up for 8 weeks in advance for them to work the numbers out, and by the time they work the numbers out, we'll do maybe a 4-week training and then have the fight, you know, instead of the full 6 to 8 weeks they normally do. Is there anything else? You know, I feel like, and people keep saying that this fight is bigger than Pacquiao Mayweather. I feel like this is a huge fight for boxing. This could possibly be a savior fight for boxing, because fans, once again, are leaving the sport in droves, and I think boxing needs a fight like this to make fans feel good about the sport again. But there is, you know, Maypac was a semi-disaster, and the fight wasn't good, you know. We love the build-up, but the fight was horrible. So I would hate for both of these guys to get in the ring, one of them come in injured. You know, any verbal in this fight, it could throw it off and make it a horrible fight. So I would hate for this to end up being a horrible fight and it leaving a bad taste in boxing fans' mouth, and then people start leaving the sport even more. Let me know what y'all think about that. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Hit me up on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTubes. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there if you want a response. It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And I think we are
Okay, so you gon' get the plug. That's a giant leap.